Been speaking to many people involved in music, involved in entertainment over the lockdown period, and strange and weird period indeed it's been for everybody. I'm delighted to have a gentleman online now who has been involved in music for a long time, been involved in a very colourful act, no doubt about it. The Apaches, and this is the one and only lead vocalist and star of the show of the Apaches, Damien McCarthy. Damien, how are you?
Pleasure to talk to you, Jerry. How's things?
Not bad at all, Damien, not bad at all. Listen, you're a long time involved in music.
Jerry, a lot of people would be saying maybe too long. But I joined the band, the Apache. I had my own band in 87. Started out touring around the pubs and clubs of Ireland, and it was hard enough getting, you'd went in and done a single and tried to get it around airplay, and it was extremely hard because you weren't getting into the venues that you needed, and it was difficult, but you were prepared to give it a go. And I loved entertaining people. I loved meeting people. But what actually happened, Jerry, was in 88, I was down doing a spot in Monasterevin in County Kildare, and it was for a radio station. And Tony Lockman, the manager, God rest him, that looked after the Apaches, talked to me at the end of the night and said to me, he says, could I have a word with you? And I said, yeah, no problem. He came into the changing room and he said, look, I manage a band. He didn't mention the name of the band. He says, I manage a band and I'm looking for a lead singer, and I just watched you there performing on the stage. And he says, would you be interested? And I says to him, yeah, well, tell me more. And he says, it's a band called the Apaches. And I started laughing because I had an uncle that actually played with the other colourful band, the Indians, the Indian Showband from Dublin. He played with them he was a lead guitar player for 10 years, 5 years on and off. He was with them 5, and then he was away, and then he went back again for another 5. So I thought it was sort of ironic how it came around. But the long story was I joined up with Tony in 1988 and still going strong.
That is incredible. You know, that is absolutely incredible. I remember those days actually when it was the Tony Lockman management who had the... it was somebody, I think, in the office actually who was officially the manager, but it was Tony Lockman Promotions. Tony looked out. I think there was another manager was involved before Tony, and then Tony took it on after. I think he took the show on in 87 or 86, if I'm not mistaken. And as I say, I joined in 88. I loved it. I loved entertaining. It was a bit strange wearing the headdress and wearing the fringes and that, but the drug was there. It was a entertaining people was something I always loved. And to come away from the 3-piece that I had and I formed a 5-piece then, it was the Damien McCarthy band. And to come away from that, playing in venues that you were only hoping to be playing in, for it to be a reality, it was just unreal. And at that time in 1988, it was just a big buzz. You know, it was a big thing. Oh, the Apaches is coming. It was colourful. It was a bit different. But it did go down well, and we played a lot actually over in the UK, over in England and Scotland through the years. Indeed, yes.
Tony had us up and down. We played a lot around London. They were the good old times, Jerry. They were the good times.
Yes. That's when all the venues were in London, likes of the Galtymore and the Gresham and the Hibernian, and
that's right. Yeah, all the Halfway House and the Lord Nelson and all them venues, and it was just unbelievable to be playing in them, and arriving, getting the gear set up, you had a buzz, and whenever the doors opened and people were queuing in to get in to see the show band, this colourful show band, and it was exciting. It really was, and I met so many good friends along the way that came dancing to us, and they just became friends, and actually onto the fan page there on Facebook and that, and all the other different social medias, and it's just fantastic the way it rolled. And sadly Tony passed away in 2006, if I'm not mistaken, and I played up until 2008.
Right.
And unfortunately my mother, she took a stroke, and she never recovered from it, and I went off the road. And the next thing was Jan from Shannon Star Promotions had contacted me and said, and the guys were all, they were getting older and they didn't want to tour anymore, and so I had a wee bit of chatting to them and says, look, we could go back out and do this. It's something that people are actually requesting for it to happen. So
we got back in, stuck into rehearsals. We got a few singles put out, and the want for it seemed to be back there. You know, it wasn't to say that them days was gone. There seemed to be a bit of a buzz again because the Apaches were back. Not just because of me. It was just the name that the Apaches had. You know, it was excitement, and again, it was different. And then you had the younger people coming through. The country scene then started to take off, and you found out then you were doing more of the country venues, doing the country songs and the rock and roll songs, and you seen younger ones beginning to come through to support the bands, not just their own band but other bands. And you know, the older people were still coming, yet the younger people were coming to mix in with it, and the buzz seemed to be back, definitely back there again.
Indeed. And the irony is that in you guys getting back, the thing about it was like since the COVID and the lockdown and everything else, there was quite a lot of work and tours and everything else lined up. It was could not have come at a worse time.
Jerry, it was unfortunately because, as I say, Shannon Star Promotions took over the band and the management of it, and was working on a tour for us. At the start of last year, she started putting the show together for 2020, and it was a coast-to-coast tour. It was to take in Ireland, Scotland, England, and in the countries that we would only have dreamt of, to be quite honest with you. We were into America, Norway, Denmark. It was and parts of Canada as well. And it was unbelievable. You know, it was opening up further afield. To us at one time, England and Scotland was far. Yet now it was looking into, you know, you were looking into different countries, as I say, that you never even thought country music would have been ever heard of. Well, I certainly didn't think so. And the Derry, I couldn't believe the work that Shannon Star Promotions had put together. The tour, we were all looking forward to it. And then bang, this pandemic just hit the world and unfortunately put the brakes on and the skids on for everybody, unfortunately, not just ourselves, but all bands and all walks of life, sadly.
Indeed so. And it's you know, it's one of those completely and totally unforeseen things. We could never have seen or even dreamt in our worst nightmares anything like this having happened this time last year.
Unbelievable, Jerry. There's no way, as I say, the tours were being put into place. You know, visas were being sorted, and all the things that needed to be done was been done. And as I say, the boys in the band from saying they didn't want to go travelling again, and then they finally got the buzz again and saying, God, this is something we really wanted. This is something we really worked for. And then just to be bang, it's gone. You know, and it's unfortunately and fortunately, the brakes was put on for 2020, the Coast to Coast tour. But Jan and different promoters have come together and said, look, we'll put it back to 2021. So now it's the Coast to Coast tour 2021, and please God that happens.
yes, indeed, because with the way things are at the moment, there kind of is no end date in sight to this at the moment. All we can do is sort of hope.
Jerry, we're clinging to hope that 2021 lifts and we get rid of this pandemic.
Indeed. Hopefully, it'll be a different story this time next year.
Please God, Jerry. But that's all we can do is just hope and pray that, you know, 2021 is a lot brighter than what 2020 was, and the dancers are wanting to get back. You know, hopefully they have itchy feet to get back out into dancing again and get the dance halls and the pubs and clubs back up and running again. But all we can do is cling on to hope and pray that something happens for the good going forward.
Indeed, so definitely, no question or doubt. And you've released a number of songs. What have you been doing since the lockdown? Have you been doing working on any new recordings, and new material, or anything like that, Damien?
Well, Jerry, what we're planning to do is we're going into the studio in September, mid-September. We're going in to cut a new six-part CD, and then after that we're booked in again for early December to bring out another couple of songs. And because what Jan is for doing is, although we're going in to do the 6 songs onto the CD, we're going to release them as singles for every 12 or 13, 14 weeks apart, to release new material every, for that period of time, just to keep
the music fresh in people's mind, and to give our fans and new fans, hopefully, the chance to hear that never went to live bands, or give them something new for them to come and say, God, never heard of them before, but go and see them, or build up a bit of excitement. And that's really the only thing that we can do, Jerry, is just get into the studio, record, and we have a fan page going there. I'm sure, Jerry, you'll maybe give out for us. And the fans that has joined the fan page is fans that has actually went to see us in the past. But again, new fans is coming on to the scene, younger again, that's coming and clicking on to us and liking the songs and sharing the songs. And we just hope that 2021 we can get round the circuit and get to meet these new people as well.
Indeed, that's the thing. Wouldn't it be wouldn't it be just fantastic? I do know you've had some absolutely excellent reaction to your Facebook. The Apaches Showband official fan page. It's got a great reaction.
We actually have, Jerry. As I say, from whenever I left in 2008, and the guys had no plans of coming back out on the tour again, for Jan to come on the scene and say, look, she had a promotional page, Shannon Star Promotions, and she looks after the dates and the tours and that. And I thought, it can't be any busier than what it had been. But as I say, bringing into new countries and countries that I never ever dreamt of playing country music and rock and roll. Well, I suppose rock and roll stuff would never die anyway. But for getting into the likes of Norway and Denmark and parts of Germany, America and Canada, that was in the pipeline for supposedly 2020, but please God, 2021 we can get around that and meet the fans and meet new fans, and because that's what it's all about, Jerry, is meeting people and entertaining people. It's expensive enough night for a couple to go out, and it was always a thing that Tony Lockman had read into us, was we're going out on stage to perform for the 2 hours, to give people a bit of excitement, to give people a bit of a lift from their day-to-day chores, their week-to-week chores. And you don't know what them people are carrying through the week. There could be, some maybe sad occasions, and it gives them something come a weekend that they're wanting to get out and try and put all them things behind and get out and have a good time. Thanks. And that's what we're really about, is just to give people a bit of excitement, to give people a good time for that 2 hours, and to meet them at the end of the night and get to know new people and to meet our old fans as well. It's just something we really, really were and are looking forward to doing.
Indeed, that's excellent. That definitely was the Tony Lockman philosophy. I remember it well. Indeed.
It was, Jerry.
Indeed. Damien, this has been lovely to catch up with you. I wish you all the luck in the world, and best wishes with the recordings and everything you do, and to yourself and all the crew and Jan and all the rest of the gang. Stay safe and stay well. Lovely to catch up.
Thank you very much, Jerry, and thanks for your time, and for your listeners. We hope and pray that you all keep safe, and we look forward to seeing you all somewhere in the future.